we've got 2 minutes to go, so if you're involved in an activity, please try to find a good stopping place. About 2 minutes from now. So just 30 seconds, so please try to find a good stopping place. No one else did. Good, so you like it. Smile if you like section 3.2.
Oh, no, I
Okay, 10 seconds, so we could sort of join in. Okay, so welcome. And any comments, remarks, suggestions? The course is going very well. Things are zipping right along. First test was quite successful. Next test, of course, is Tuesday. Twice as much material, a little bit more complicated. So you probably want to prepare for it even more than you did test one. So workshop is Saturday, and we think that our free tutor is going to come, but it's scheduled to appear only, not 100%. And the videos are out there. The last class video is already out there. This one will be out there soon, as well as other YouTube stuffs. And I'm available. Just make an appointment and we can work. So those are resources for you on this. Tonight's assignment is A6, Chapter 4, Sections 1 and 2. And so I'm going to start by presenting some, then we'll do some whiteboard, then I'll present some more, then we'll do some more whiteboard back and forth until one of us dies. Okay, so that'll be our agenda. So once again, any comments, remarks, suggestions about where we are, where we're going? Okay, so we're going to do section 4.1 now, and I'm going to write a problem on the board. Let me know if you looks like you might have some trouble with that. This is called a multiplication problem. What we're doing here is multiplying. So let's multiply a little more difficultly, and this process is called distribution. And so we distribute the 3 inside the parentheses, and what does our answer become? 3x plus 3y. We don't have any problem in that. The distribution can be quite severe. For example, what would this produce? 3x squared.
Y cubed. 3x cubed, y squared.
Good. Can you combine these two terms?
No.
No, because they have different powers of x, different powers of y. So this is called distribution from the left. And now, can you, in your book, page 147, please do problem 15. Page 147, problem 15. answer? Jordan, can you tell me your answer, please?
40x to the fourth, y to the second, minus 8x to the third.
Minus how many, 80?
80, yes.
Right.
X to the third, y to the second, minus 56, x cubed, y cubed, minus 96, x to the fourth, y to the third.
And here I've written it on the front board, if you want to confirm what you got, so you should be able to do this distribution from the left side. And the object that we are pointing out is that the distribution can have as complicated a factor to be distributed as you care to. It doesn't matter how complicated it is or what it is. That factor on the left simply multiplies the two factors inside one at a time. Now, you didn't have any trouble with 4 times 3. Do you agree that 3 times 4 and 4 times 3 give roughly the same answer? So the order of the factors in multiplication is irrelevant, which means that you can also distribute from the left side. And this is exactly the same problem as this one, because 4 times 3 is the same as 3 times 4. So then, therefore, what must the answer to this be? 3x plus 3y. You can distribute from whatever side that you want to. And once again, anything outside will be distributed. So this object is called a binomial because it has 2 terms, bi means 2. Now what I'm going to distribute on the inside is x plus 1, which is another binomial, but it doesn't matter what is out here. All you're going to do is distribute it to the 2 factors inside. So when you do this distribution, you produce x times x plus 1 plus 2 times x plus 1. That is, we simply distributed x plus 1 through the parentheses. The x picks it up and the 2 picks it up. Now, you notice we now have a second level distribution we have to make. And the second level distribution will give us x squared plus 1x plus 2x plus 2. Notice these 2 terms in the middle will combine. This will always happen when you have a binomial that looks like this and a binomial that looks like that, is these 2 middle terms will combine, and we get a final answer of x squared plus 3x plus 2. This item on the bottom is called, for reasons I never understood, a trinomial. So when you multiply 2 binomials of this form together, they will produce this trinomial. So let's try one more. X minus 2, x plus 3. So now this time, I'm going to distribute from the right side. I'm going to distribute from the right side. So I'm going to get x times x plus 3 minus 2 times x plus 3. Did any of you decide to distribute from the left side? Okay, that's fine. See if we get the same answers. But I distributed from the right side. And we do get this second line of distribution. So once again, we get x squared plus 3x minus 2x plus 9. And as always, these 2 middle terms will combine, x squared plus 1x plus 9. Now hopefully, Emilio, when you distributed from the left, you got the same answer.
No, I got x squared plus x minus 6.
Well, actually I did too. I just didn't know it. I looked at this 3 and that 3. Okay, so now we're doing this. Now, we've done the 2 of these, and what we always had to do was we had to do the second line of distribution. Wouldn't it be nice if we could go directly from the first line to the third line, directly, without having to do that second line of distribution? And the answer is yes. So what I'm going to do is write down a generic binomial, a plus b, where a and b can stand for absolutely anything at all, and another binomial, c plus d. And now I'm going to distribute from the right. And I will pick up a times c plus d plus b times c plus d, and an absolutely normal distribution. And for the very last time now, we're going to do this second level distribution. And we will produce AC plus AD plus BC plus BD, always, because A, B, C, and D are totally generic. Now notice, where did this first term come from? A and C came from the first factor here times the first term here, agreed? So it's the first times the first. It's the product of the first terms. Where did the AD come from? It's the product of the two outside terms, is it not? And where did the BC come from? It's the product of the two inside terms. And where did the BD come from? It's the product of the two last terms. So whenever we have a binomial of any form, a plus b times another binomial of any form, c plus d, we don't have to do this line. The third line will always be directly the first term here times the first term there, plus the second term, first term here, two outside terms, plus the two inside terms, plus the two last terms. Because this is totally generic, so it will always be true. So we never have to do that second step again. We can go directly to the third step. All you have to remember is this four-letter word that starts with F, FOIL. So now let's try one. X minus 2, x plus 3. So let's FOIL this out. First times the first is, and the two outside terms, and the two inside terms, and the two last terms. Good. Now let's compare that to the answer we got when we did do the second level distribution. Exactly the same answer, so we no longer have to do the second level distribution. So we're going to combine those two middle terms, minus 6. Okay. So let's try one more using the FOIL technique. 2x minus 1 times x plus 2. Okay, everybody try it, please. FOIL. First times the first, the outside terms, inside terms, and last terms. And Jeremiah, your answer is please.
I got it. Negative 2, no, 3x minus 4x minus x.
That's highly creative.
That's 2.
Well, let's try it together. I want to multiply the first term here times the first term there. What are we going to get?
2x.
2x times x.
Squared.
2x squared.
That's how much that.
Got it? Okay, now I want to do the two outside terms.
Negative 4x.
Negative 4x. Now the two inside terms.
Negative 1x.
And the last terms.
Plus 2.
Okay. So 2x squared minus 5x plus 2. Support? Good. Okay, the last one that we'll do, next to the last one, is 2x minus 9, 7x minus 4. Not yet? No, close. Emilio, an answer, please?
14x squared minus 71x plus 36.
All in favor? Good, so let's go to your textbook, and please have you do, number 32, page 148. Page 148, number 32. And Dylan, your answer, please.
72x to the fourth minus 206x to the second plus 140.
Which number did you do, sir?
8x, 30, 33, that's what you said, right?
Well, that might be right for 33.
Ah,
I hope the other people did 32. Jeremiah for 32.
15x to the fourth power minus 111x squared plus 180.
All in favor? Okay, so we do know how to FOIL. So now it's your turn, let's put a little stuff up in the whiteboard. First, let's do 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, let's just do section 3.1. So wave me off if you don't have the problem ready. 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 16, 18.
16.
Which one?
16.
You want to do 16?
I didn't get it.
Yeah, but you weren't assigned it. Which one would you like to do?
I have 2 through 13 done.
How about 11?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I didn't do it. Oh, never mind, yeah.
Okay, let's go. 11 will be done twice.
Give me one.
Yep, and Dylan's gonna do it also.
5 is
Oh,
73.
shit. You're right. I don't know why. I thought
No,
it was
it's-
75.
Should be all 3.1. Is it 48 feet? Is it doing? Minus a negative 25?
I just read it as 75.
I got 15 and 0.
For 18, I didn't get them.
So the same two numbers of 15,
Right.
which is twice the larger number, and 22 is 8.
So why is your large negative 7 minus x?
Oh, I was doing 19. Tell me. So is it?
What problem?
Everyone else likes him, I'm in.
Oh, sure. We'll listen to you.
So if you have any discrepancies, please discuss them.
Anderson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you know Deaver?
Yeah.
50 minus z.
Yeah, everyone knows it.
Hey, Bellamy.
Literally everyone knows it.
Hold on.
I don't know.
I met Andrew.
Yeah,
Do the right problem.
Was you right?
mine.
It's
So
like
30 minus
Mine and
x should be those minus.
I should
Oh,
really.
yeah.
What's that?
Very sure.
So it should be this larger number plus your 20. So just erase that. So
I know, like, it's just the first two
30 minus
The rest
x
of stuff, like
your
3,
y
3, 35, easy.
plus
It's 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna
You don't need
So
this one?
just use this larger number and plug it into the word problem.
It's.
30 minus z.
Seventeen numbers is
This is easy to work and shit right
I
away.
was putting in parentheses.
Oh.
I'll just add it and then
Well,
simplify
normally
it.
we just work 8 to 3. but-
Yeah, that seems.
So I think the first, the
Oh.
second one.
Because it said use the larger number,
So
right?
now
The larger number
we're
plus
working on
20.
7:30 to,
What?
5:30.
That's a small, and then it says.
Okay, expression.
But then that just be
So around the
30 plus
second
20,
part,
50 minus
That's
z,
included.
you're as simple as you can get.
And back
So
or
the answer
something
should
like
be 50 minus z.
I don't know if this is right, but this
It's like
is.
the same, I was like, they
that.
inspect
And
the
How'd
whole
you do
command.
this one?
No one see it.
What?
How'd you do this one?
Like they inspect the whole command, how you
Because I
like.
did
How, what does it do to remind them?
Oh,
It's gonna tell you.
Yeah, so when it
That's
says
the weird inspection.
the sum of two numbers
Everything's
is
on
30.
track. Cause we failed it
I mean,
last
Steve
time,
used
and
the
it looked really bad on us.
Hmm.
So
So they're
x is a
redoing
number
it.
and then 30 minus x is a number.
extra larger.
If you fail again,
What's
I think like
Way more than
higher ranks
just
would get involved.
number.
And then difference would be negative, would be subtraction.
And the small would be your 15 minus x.
Yeah.
Alright, so 2 times x.
Okay, so yeah, it's saying use
22 equals 8.
your first
But the actual
variable as
equation is
larger
super easy.
number.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
just
how.
so
It's
wording
easier if you make the larger number
X
the
is
two
equal to
times
the larger number.
larger.
You don't know what it is, like, but then you can
Yeah.
formula it to be your smaller number,
Yeah.
so 30 minus.
What do you do with it?
15 is 0.
Your larger number is 15, your smaller number is 0.
That's pretty cool.
Like, yeah, any gear that needs to be set to
30
my
minus
craft
x
would
would
be
be
recent.
That's cool.
20 more than your smaller number.
Yeah.
I work with
Solve
like
it,
zero
so you
units.
Right, and
Very
set
sure.
flex.
So F would be 50
Yeah.
actually.
They're one or two different studies.
I've been there once for like.
Anything unresolved?
Yeah.
Okay, then my turn again, if we could put the horses back
Excuse me?
for a few moments.
Not
Not much.
training.
Oh, last day of shifts.
That's cool.
Got tomorrow.
Yeah.
Charlotte.
So the windshield, on the windshield wipers, do they squeeze together in one? To like they jump right to the left foot. So I would go a new one, or the gas is not a new one, I'll change it. So once I look at it, then it's just like, so if I look at it, let the catch is through. So they wouldn't like any surface or the kind of inside the windshield. It was still squeezing outside, it's cracking into it. So then I started thinking, how do you put all the way up to the windshield?
You don't have to replace the windshield. Just Japanese glasses and safety belts.
Let's check the brakes on that one, Chair. Good.
Replace it, the windshield before.
Okay, let's go backwards. A few moments ago, we decided that 4 times 3 was equal to 12, and that this type of problem was a multiplication problem. Now, what I'm going to do is give you the 12 and ask you what factors produced it. So 12 comes from the factors 4 times 3. This process is called factoring. Factoring, and we are now going to do some factoring, which is reverse multiplication. In other words, I'm going to give you the trinomial x squared plus 5x plus 6. And I'm going to ask you for the 2 binomials that produced it by FOILing. And we're going to do this in slow steps. Now, where did the x squared come from? It came from this term times that term, agreed? It came from the first terms. Now, what are the only terms that can multiply together to give an x squared? X and x. Good. Now I'm going to do some sign analysis. Now this is something you might not have seen before, so you want to truly try to pick up on it. Somebody throw a chair at Amelia, will you? Amelia, watch what we're going to do. What's the sign of this term? Plus. Now, it was produced by the multiplication of these 2 terms, agreed? Now, when we multiply these 2 terms together, we produced a plus sign. That tells you something about these signs. That is, they are either both negative or both positive, because there's no other way you can produce a plus sign, agreed? Since this is positive, it means that these 2 signs are the same. Either both negative or both negative. Positive, because they have to multiply together to give a plus, because this came from the product of the last 2 terms. Now, it's easy to tell whether they're plus or minus, because they have to combine to give that term. Can you combine 2 negative terms and produce a positive term? No, you can only combine 2 positive terms and produce a positive term. So this is called sign analysis. And it tells you that these 2 signs are positive. This plus sign tells you the signs are the same. This plus sign tells you that that same sign is a plus. So we've now produced the signs. Now let's worry about what goes here. These 2 numbers. Where did the 6 come from? It came from the product of those 2 numbers, agreed? It came from the product of those 2 numbers. So let's make a list of all possible partners that can produce a 6. How about a 1 times a 6, 2 times a 3. Now 3 is already in the list. That means the list is complete. If your next number is already in the list is complete. Now, where did the 5 come from? it came from the combination of the two inner terms, agreed? And the two inner terms are going to both have the same sign. That means the operation of combining the two inner terms was addition. So the 5 came from the addition of these two terms. Now, which set of partners will add to a 5? A 1 and a 6 or a 2 and a 3?
2 and 3.
So we've produced a 2 and a 3. Now, you don't have to ask me if it's right, you can check it by foiling. X squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6, and x squared plus 5x plus 6. Notice how these two terms were added together. So we were needing to find two partners that added together. The next one that I'm going to approach is x squared minus 8x plus 15. Okay, now, the x squared came from the product of the first two terms, therefore they have to be x's. Now, this sign is positive. So what are the only choices for these two signs? They must be the same, agree? Either negative or positive. But they must combine to give the middle term, meaning that they are both negative, because you can't combine two positive signs and get a negative. So by sign analysis, we produce those signs. Now, let's find out where the 15 came from. It came from the product of this and this, so let's make a list. 1 times 15. 2 doesn't work. 3 times 5, 4 doesn't work. 5 is on the list is complete. Now, since these have the same signs, those two inner terms are going to be combined by the process operation of addition. So which one of these set of partners will add to give an 8?
5 and 3.
5 and 3. So let's FOIL it. X squared minus 3x minus 5x plus 15. X squared minus 8x plus 15. Check with original, check with original. Now the next one will be a counter example. X squared minus 2x minus 15. First term, not much changes. Now let's do some sign analysis. Are these signs going to be opposite or the same?
Opposite.
They have to be opposite because they multiply together to give a minus, don't they? So these have to have opposite signs. One's going to be plus, one's going to be minus. So I just pencil them in. I may reverse them later. Now, that means that one of these inner terms is going to be plus, and the other inner term is going to be minus, because this term is going to be plus, but the outside term is going to be minus, true? Now, when you combine a plus and a minus, the operation that's being performed is subtraction, is it not? So let's make our list for 15. 1 times 15, 2 doesn't work, 3 times 5, 4 doesn't work, 5 is on the list. So which set of partners will subtract to give a 2?
5
5
minus
and 3. Now, where are we going to put the 5? Remember, we have to end up with a dominant minus.
3 on the right with a negative.
So if we put our larger number here, we'll have a dominant plus, agreed? So if we put our larger number here, we'll have a dominant minus from the outside terms. We need a dominant minus, which is our larger term, the 5, so it has to dominate with a minus sign. So let's try to FOIL it. X squared minus 5x plus 2x minus 15, x squared minus 2x minus 15. Problem is done. We're going to do one more of this type, which is x squared minus 9x minus 36. And I'm going to be quiet. Sign analysis. Make your list. Decide whether you're going to produce the operation of subtraction or addition. Now remember, your list must be complete. It must be exhaustive. exhaustive. All possible partners must be on your list. Okay, Chanel, what's your list look like?
9 times 4,
No, let's start with one, it's easier.
1 and 36.
1 and 36, now 2 if it works, 2 and 18, 3 if it works, does 3 work?
And 12.
12, 4, does 4 work?
Yes, 9.
9, 5 doesn't work, 6 works, and 6 is already in the list, so the list is complete. Okay, good. Or 7 doesn't work, 8 doesn't work, and 9 is already in the list. Now, are we going to be doing the operation of addition or subtraction? No, we're not. This tells you that the two signs are different, aren't they? One's a plus and one's a minus. So that means that the outside terms are going to produce a minus. The inside terms are going to produce a plus. When you combine a plus and a minus, for example, plus 7 minus 4, the answer is arrived by subtraction, is it not? The answer is a 3. When you combine a minus 7 minus 4, the answer is arrived by addition, minus 11. But when the signs are different, the answer is arrived by subtraction. This is how you combine sign numbers. We looked at this a year or two ago in this room. So let's try it again. Plus 7 plus 4 equals. Minus 7 minus 4 equals. Plus 7 minus 4 equals. Minus 7 plus 4 equals. First thing you do is determine the sign of the number. If the two numbers have the same sign, then the sign of the answer is that sign. If the two numbers have different signs, the sign of the answer is the sign of the larger. Now you determine the magnitude of the combination. If the signs are the same, the magnitude is determined by addition. If the signs are the same, the magnitude is determined by addition. If the signs are different, the magnitude is determined by subtraction. So that's how you combine sign numbers. Now, in this process, this problem, we're going to produce a plus inside term and a minus outside term. So they're going to be combined by what operation? Addition or subtraction? Subtraction. Combined by subtraction. That means we're talking about these two types of objects, where these signs are different. If those signs are different, then you get the magnitude of the answer by subtraction. That means we need to produce a 9 by subtracting our two partners, which is a partnership that will yield a 9 upon subtraction. 3 and the 12. So we found it without doing a lot of trial and error, just by analysis. Now, which one is going to take the minus sign, the smaller number or the larger number? The larger number, because the net result has to come out to be minus, agreed? So the larger number must go with the minus sign. So let's FOIL it out. X squared minus 12x plus 3x minus 36. X squared minus 9x minus 36, and we have arrived there. Okay, then I have one more for you. X squared minus x minus 90. Okay, Jordan, can you help me make the list? The list has to be complete. Start with 1.
1 times 90,
Aye.
2 times 45,
Aye.
3 times, I don't know, 30.
Good, okay. 4 does not work. No. 5 times. Calculators encouraged. You need this list, huh?
18.
That's right, 16. And 6 times.
15.
Right, 7 doesn't work, 8 doesn't work, and 9 times.
10.
And 10 is on the list is complete. So don't try to cut corners, you need to make this list, sir.
It's 5 times 18.
Yeah. Thanks, sorry, I apologize, Jordan. Yeah. Good. Okay, now let's do our sign analysis. This minus sign tells you that the signs are going to be the same or different?
Different.
Different. That means they're going to be combined by the operation of addition or subtraction?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. Which pair of partners subtracts to give a 1?
9 and 10.
10 and the 9. Now, we need to have a net minus sign at the end. So which one is going to take the minus sign, the 9 or the 10?
10.
Minus 10 and plus 9. Boil it out. X squared minus 10x plus 9x minus 90, x squared minus 1x minus 90. Okay. So this is our worksheet for today. I'll distribute that now. The ones that we've been doing are on here. And can everyone please do number 20?
Which number did you say?
20. That is my A. 20. And the problem is x squared minus 7x minus 34. So please make the list. And Como, your answer is please.
X plus 4, X minus
Winner, x plus 4x minus 1, all in favor. And you did FOIL it out to check, true?
11. Yeah.
I'm glad. So did everyone arrive at x? Como, what was on your list?
1 and 44, 2 and 22, and 4 and 11.
Did he miss any? I didn't see any. Okay, good. Now, can everyone please do number 19? Now, the ones who really get this down won't need your pencil, just look at it. 19. Amelia already has it, right? Saved all that writing. Mercedes has it too. So you can make your list if you want to. This is almost a freebie. Alex, you have an answer for 19, please?
Not yet.
Okay, then let's make our list. Let's do systematically. 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 4 and 4. Now the operation is addition. So which partners are gonna add to 17?
1 and 16.
That's it. X plus 1, x plus 16. Okay, so now, can everyone please do number 17? X squared minus 8x plus 32. This is the advantage of making a list. This is where the list is worth its while. Some people are starting to sense it. Who's going to be the one to say it? Dylan, say it.
Doesn't work out.
Doesn't work out.
No.
Now, don't look at me that way. First, let me ask you, what are the factors of this number? 13. There are no factors, agreed? It's what's called a prime number. This is a prime trinomial. It has no factors, it does not factor. Now you say, that's ridiculous. All the ones up until now have factored. You've been sheltered. They've been deliberately chosen because they do factor. But just think about it. If you write down 3 arbitrary numbers out of all the numbers in the universe, what's the probability that you're going to get 3 numbers that factor? 0.00000001, almost never. Most trinomials do not factor. But how is it that you can establish that it does not factor with your list? Let's make the list for 32. 1 times 32, 2 times 16, 4 times 8, 5 doesn't work, 6 doesn't work, 7 doesn't work, 8 is on the list. Now by sign analysis, they have the same sign. That means the operation of addition is going to produce the middle term. So will the first partnership add up to 8? Will the second partnership add up to 8? Will the third partnership add up to 8? No. You can now claim prime because you've made an exhaustive check of all possibilities. Not until you've made an exhaustive check of all possibilities can you claim prime. Unless you're like the one student on the test that had 5 factorizations and hadn't done a thing. So just in blind hope, he wrote down prime on all of them. Maybe one was prime, so that was cute. But that does happen. Snow happens. There are trinomials that are prime. Okay, now back to your time. Let's go to 3.2, your favorite section. And now don't wave me off if you don't have a problem, because I think most of you don't have the problems. Just want you to get a start of it and get some help from your classmates. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 16, and which one would you like to do? 1? Okay, 1 is duplicated. These problems are not friendly. This actually might be the most difficult section in the whole course.
Alright, so this one threw me off, man. I had to make the little diagram, or like make the little table. And, I had to go back and read it like 3 times to get it, but
Nothing wrong with that.
I just made, so, at the 5-cent piece, 15-cent, and 25-cent. So, I did that, 15 cents for 3 times that, and there was a total of 160, they all added up to $25. So then I did 160 minus 3x minus x. These have a value of 5 cents, 15 cents, 25 cents. And then you have to do, yeah.
Dylan?
What? Yeah, I didn't do it, I just the answers.
Oh.
5x plus 45 x plus 40 minus x
I had no idea.
equals
Oh,
2500. Because that's saying, that's basically multiplying this. X times 5, 5x, 15 times 3, 45x, 25 times all of this.
X plus,
Hang on, I'm confused.
I was thinking, if you did the.
I'm gonna get that 40 minus x. Oh.
Did you do .25 times 1?
Yeah, I think I did it point, yeah. Cause I did point 0.05, point 15, point 25. Right, yeah.
So,
I kinda got
2,500.
all kinds of scribbles.
But that was right so far, right? It said .5x plus .25x plus.
So basically you do, yeah, so 5 times x plus, because you know that all of this added together equals $25. So you just write it algebraically.
I didn't even get that.
15 3x, 25 plus 25, 160 minus 4x equals 25. And then
I have to translate that one.
math it out,
Copy and paste it.
and you get x equals 30.
I got like.
And then just bring it back up here, plug it in, so you had 30 of those, 90 of those,
Alright.
and 40
I mean, I was
of those.
Whatever.
Okay.
Wait, how'd you get the 90 and 40?
You just plug x back in once you find x by doing this. So 3 times 30, 90, and then plug your x's in there and you get 40.
Figure out where I went wrong.
Pretty glad I don't get that on the test.
I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna be on the test.
No, no, that specific question.
Yeah, it will be. Study it and know how it works.
I'm just gonna take a mental picture of it. Make sure I remember every number.
Might be easier just to study it and know how it works.
That's the problem.
Number
5.
Hey Dylan,
Yeah,
how'd you get this?
back to the book.
Come on, man.
Bro, I did not even know how to start it.
So it didn't, I'm pretty sure that one didn't say odd or even integers.
Yeah,
So before, like the example he showed us, it was just x equals whatever. And then your next one, if it's even or odd, then you have to add 2 and add 4.
yeah.
Those were your 3 integers. So for this one, I got this one wrong because I did it the same way we did it, and then I reread the problem and figured out that it didn't say even or odd. So you just have to do x x plus 1, x plus 2, and then plug it into the problem. So it said 5 times the third integer equals 3 times the sum of the first and second, I think it was, so x, I'm just adding these together,
Yeah.
2x plus 1, and then it was 11 less than that, and then math that out.
What about the x plus two? You added the x and x plus one. What about the x plus two?
That's over here.
Oh, yeah.
This is your first, this is your second, and this is your third. You just have to pull these randomly out of your brain. So if you're just saying some random integer is 5 times the second is this and this and this, you have to just know this.
Okay.
So if you're doing some random integer, you want just a consecutive amount of numbers, you have to do x and then x plus 1, x plus 2 to be able to write your equation algebraically and figure it out.
Okay.
Do you want to do that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I can do that, but I just don't see. You just plug it in, like, once you get the answer to this, you.
So if you read,
So once you get x,
yeah, if you read the problem, it just says your first integer. You can write anything down that you want,
Okay.
but you know that the very next number, it's not odd or even, so you don't have to add 2. It's just saying the very
Oh,
next
just
number
plus
after that.
one, plus
So
two.
whatever-
Okay, yeah, I got that.
Whatever number this is just gonna be one more than it, and then
Mm,
that
two
one's
more,
gonna be
okay.
2 more, will be your third number.
I got that.
It's kind of confusing, you have to just
Yeah.
It's alright, man.
pull out of thin air to write the problem algebraically, but
Is it 7, right? Or no,
8.
8.
isolate x. So minus 6x.
Oh,
Minus
that's
6x. Because you're minusing.
minus 6 would be negative 1.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're just doing it on your gauge.
Yeah.
It'll be negative x equals negative 18. 18 divided by 1, 18. So then you have to plug this back into your
Okay. Yeah,
So it's
that's your
18,
first plus 1 plus 2.
19, 20. Yep.
maybe,
Oh, really? What you really?
19,
What is that?
98.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Wait.
Yeah, I just, the main problem, obviously this is super easy, but just getting that, like.
Right, yeah,
we're probably doing
reading a
that.
paragraph and pulling that out of
I
it is
can't do it.
impossible,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can't do it, man.
You the boy out there? I never heard of that.
It's the, you know where, ASD is?
Yeah, is there like cross
Right
there?
across the street from it.
Oh, I got you. Oh shit, I didn't even know we had you.
That's me.
Okay, let's go on break, and then I'll do any that are requested. So it's 5:38, come back 5:48.
I think number 9 should be 36 cartridges. Sprinters come with cartridges, and you gotta use them before you buy replacements.
IT's come out of Pensacola, right?
So 5:48, we will resume. Sir? Nothing? Nothing. Just, this, convincing. Oh, food. What got into you?
I would need healthy food.
Bag of gummy butterflies.
Yeah, minus the gummy bears and stuff.
No,
I blame him.
Your nose gets real big when you lie, dude. You don't want to not be able to go through doors.
I bring so much unhealthy stuff to the shop, it just corrupts them sometimes.
You're gonna kill him with kindness.
I'm just gonna kill him.
Good stuff, Alex.
But the way it's fucking moving.
The motion?